Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's great to see you. We are going to talk about giants, the Nephilim, and the Rephaim, and what do they have in common. So there was an accidental discovery back in 1928 of a cosmopolitan port city and its library of clay tablets. It revealed a forgotten civilization whose stories both predated and paralleled the Bible. Among those tablets was the Tale of Aqhat, the story of a righteous man named Daniel, his long-awaited son, Aqhat, and a divine bow that set gods and mortals at odds. In this epic that we're going to read tonight, Danel, or maybe better known as Daniel, a Rephaim, is neither gigantic, evil, nor dead. Instead, he stands as a perfect example of how a righteous Rephaim could later be transformed into a negative figure in later biblical tradition. Ezekiel preserves that older, positive image of Daniel, perhaps as a legendary judge or hero tradition to Canaan. The discovery of Ugarit at Ras Shamra truly changed the world as we know it. The lost city, a Bronze Age port on the Syrian coast, was a crossroads where trade, language, and religion converged, and where the echoes of the ancient Rephaim were recorded in clay. So let me pull this up for you. This is what we will be reading tonight. I'm going to read a quick synopsis from religious text from Ugarit, and I probably should let me put the link so you all can read this for yourselves if you would like to. I should have thought of that. My apologies. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope you are doing well. There we go. There is my list of favorites, and there's tons of books in there you'll enjoy. Okay, so here is a synopsis of the Tale of Aqhat, or it might be also called Daniel. It just depends who you're talking to. Daniel is without a son and therefore performs a ritual to obtain divine assistance. He sacrifices to the gods for 6 days, perhaps spending every night in the temple. Baal intercedes for him on the 7th, asking El to provide a son who will perform all the filial duties. El blesses Danel and promises a son. A son will be born to Danel, who rejoices and holds a feast in his palace for the goddesses of childbirth. Kothar arrives with a composite bow as a gift. A feast takes place. Anat asks Aqhat for the bow. He tells her to take the raw materials to Kothar for herself, and he also offends her, which we'll eventually get to in the narrative. And Anat, if you don't know, hey John, good to see you, buddy. Anat is a goddess of war, of the hunt, of fertility of the herd. She is sometimes called sister of Baal, as well as a wife of Baal. So he perturbs her, which does not end well for Aqhat, the one son of Daniel. Oh, hey, Maya, I'm sorry I didn't see you pop in. Hello, good to see you. I love you. I love you. Saratum Ilatim. I think that's how you say it. Okay. So Anat threatens El that if she doesn't get this bow that she really wants, that she's going to give it to him. She's going to give him the old 1-2 puncheroo. So she means business. She is a goddess of war. The bow ends up being destroyed, sadly, and along with it, the son Aqhat dies. I know, really, really sad. I think that's pretty much, there is revenge, which is, so the death of Aqhat is revenged by his sister Pugat, and I believe there's probably something there with the name. Unfortunately, it's hard to find out an exact translation of what these names mean. It's something that I am working on, though. Let's just get into the story. Oof, that's very bright. Here we go. Now, I should remind you that the texts that were found, the clay tablets that were found at Ugarit, a lot of them are badly damaged and pieced together, or there's just, lines missing, what have you. So you will see many times lines missing, and then, the scholars just try to piece it together what could possibly be. Also, remember that Ugaritic is a consonantal language, so very similar to Hebrew, and there will be words that are exactly the same, actually, since it's pre-Hebrew. Maybe Proto-Hebrew might be the word. I don't know. So anyhow, let's start. I guess I should remind you, Danel is a Rephaim. So this kind of heroic judge, a righteous man, is asking the god El to help him have a progeny, someone to look after him when he gets old, to take care of him, to put up his funerary rites, things of that nature. So here is Daniel. Now Daniel, man of Raphaim, and Raphaim is just Rephaim. Okay, guys. The hero, man of the Harnemite. Girded gives food to the gods. Girded gives drink to the deities. Throws down his garments and lies. Throws down his cloak for the night. One day passed and a second. Girded, Daniel gives food. Girded gives food to the gods. Girded gives drink to the deities. A third day passes, a fourth. So we see this repetition of, he's doing this in earnest. He wants that son very badly. So he's giving all the offerings that he is supposed to. Girded, Daniel gives food. Girded gives food to the gods. Girded gives drink to the deities. A fifth day passes, a sixth. Girded, Daniel gives food. Girded gives food to the gods. Girded gives drink to the deities. Daniel throws down his garment and lies, throws down his cloak for the night. Then, okay, so 7 days this goes on. Then on the seventh day, Baal draws near in compassion. The longing of Daniel, man of Raphaim, the moan of the hero, man of the Harnemite, who has no sons like his siblings, no offspring like that of his fellows. So a major theme about having offspring, it does kind of sound very strange when you think about it, that Yahweh technically has no kids. According to like the Hebrew Bible, which would seem very strange since offspring is so important. So who has no sons like a sibling, no offspring like that of his fellows? Will he have no son like his siblings, no offspring like that of his fellows? Who girded gives food to the gods, girded gives drink to the deities. Bless him, Bul El, my father, prosper him, creator of creatures. So now you've got Baal also asking El for help. Like, please, can you have pity on this dude? He doesn't have sons like his siblings do. He's been supplicating you. He's doing everything he's supposed to. Can you please have mercy on Daniel's soul and give him a damn kid? Okay. Thank you, Baal. He's a compassionate guy. Hello. Good to see you, Native Atheist. Hello, Eric Wanderer. Good to see you. Oh, you pass? Limited light. I'm good with that. All right, here we go. Let him have a son in his house, offspring with his palace, to set up his ancestor's stela, the sign of a sib in the sanctuary, to rescue his smoke from the underworld, to protect his steps from the dust. Oops, let me take this off the damn screen. And why is that up there? I don't even remember putting that up there. Thank you. Sorry, guys. To set up his ancestor's stela, the sign of his sib in the sanctuary, to rescue his smoke from the underworld, to protect his steps from the dust, to stop his abuser's spite, to drive his troublers away, to grasp his arm when he's drunk, to support him when he's sated with wine, to eat his portion in Baal's house, his share in the house of El, to daub his roof when there's mud, to wash his stuff when there's dirt. Like, my goodness gracious. Can you see how important that would be back in the day to make sure that you have someone to look after you? Who's going to take care of you and do all these things? Who's going to do the reverse cycling? You raise the kids, and then the kids practically raise you again. Also, too, I thought this was really cute. To support him sated with wine. And then I thought, like, so out of respect, it must be because this theme, like, this comes up often. So in the Ugaritic. And then I see this idea in the Noah story where he gets drunk. And instead of his son supporting him when he was sated with wine, his son took advantage of either him or one of his wives. I guess that you were expected that if your father got a little loosey-goosey, because, sometimes it happens today, it happens in the ancient world, a respectable son will look after his father and not take advantage of him. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, to eat his portion in Baal's house, his share in the house of El, to daub his roof when there's mud, to wash his stuff when there's dirt. So here, El takes a cup in his hand, and anytime you see the gods with a chalice in their hand and raising it, something's about to go down. El takes a cup in his hand. He blesses Danel, man of Rephaim, prospers the hero, man of the Harnemite. By my life, let Daniel, man of Rephaim, thrive. By my soul, the hero, man of the Harnemite. Some broken text, flourish. Let him mount his couch. All right, so here's the sexy part, the good part. In kissing his wife, conception. In embracing her, pregnancy. Birth, pregnancy, man of Rephaim. So likely here they're describing that they've done what they need to do in order to have a baby. And a son he will have in his house, offspring within his palace, to set up his ancestor stela, the sign of his sib, in the sanctuary, to rescue his smoke from the underworld, to protect his steps from the dust, to stop his abuser's spite, to drive his troublers away, to grasp his arm when he's drunk, to support him when he's sated with wine, and not take advantage of him like Ham did, to eat his portion in Baal's house, his share in the house of El, to daub his roof when there's mud, to wash his stuff when there's dirt. And some more missing text. And they believe that Baal goes, or El sends another deity to announce Danel, the good news of the blessing. Like your siblings, a son's to be born to you, an offspring like that of your fellows, to set up your ancestor stela, the sign of your sib, in the sanctuary, to rescue your smoke from the... Okay, so are we getting how very important this is, what a son's or what a child's duties are to their parents? To protect your steps from the dust, to stop your abuser's spite, to drive your troublers away, to eat your portion in Baal's house, your share in the house of El, to grasp your arm when you're drunk, to support you when sated with wine, to daub your roof when there's mud, to wash your stuff when there's dirt. Daniel's face beams. His brow above lights up. He breaks out into laughter, sets his foot on the footstool, raises his voice and cries. Now I'll sit down and rest. In my breast, my heart will rest. Like my siblings, a son's to be born to me, an offspring like that of my fellows, to set up the ancestor stela, the sign of my sib, in the sanctuary, to rescue my breath from the underworld, to protect my steps from the dust, to stop my abuser's spite, to drive my troublers away, to grasp my arm when I'm drunk, to support me when sated with wine, to eat my portion in Baal's house, my share in the house of El, to daub my roof when there's mud, to wash my stuff when there's dirt. Whew. Lord have mercy. That's a lot of reading, y'all. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Okay. Daniel comes to his house. Daniel arrives at his palace. The Kathrat enter his house, the moon's radiant daughters. So the Kotharat are 7 sisters. They teach you how to have sex, like the ways of the bed, which you'll see, to help mothers give birth. It's kind of like all the instructions on fertility. And when you think of like the moon and cycles and your period, it kind of tracks that there's that secular motion to the fertility rituals, and therefore moon's radiant daughters makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now Daniel, man of Rephaim, the hero, man of Harnemite, slaughters an ox for the Kotharat, dines the Kotharat, and wines the moon's radiant daughters. One day and a second, he dines the Kotharat and wines the moon's radiant daughters. A third, a fourth day, he dines the Kotharat and wines the moon's radiant daughters. A fifth, a sixth day, he dines the Kotharat and wines the moon's radiant daughters. Then on the 7th day, you see how 7 just seems to be an important number back in the day. The Kotharat leave his house, the moon's radiant daughters. So here's where it says it teaches the joy of the bed, the delights of the bed of childbirth. Now, how deep they go into the instructions, I don't know if they're like a Dr. Ruth kind of deal, but they would teach you, how to breathe. They would have ointments, they would have medications, they would have tools. You name it, that is what the Kotharat would be for. Daniel settles to count her months. Unfortunately, the text is a little too broken, but it basically goes through the months. Aqhat is born to Daniel and his wife. Whatever else the missing columns 3 and 4 recounted, the origins of the bow that appears in column 5 would have been included. Oh, breaks my heart that this stuff isn't included, you guys. Oh, I can't take it. I will bring the bow. I will convey their many arrows. Then on the 7th day, now Daniel, man of Rephaim, the hero, man of the Harnemite, gets up and sits by the gateway among the chiefs on the threshing floor, takes care of the case of the widow, defends the need of the orphan. And as a righteous judge, a hero, a Rephaim, if you will, taking care of the widow, defending the needs of the orphan, feeding the hungry, basically all the sins that we see allegedly Sodom and Gomorrah be destroyed for because they were haughty and didn't care about nobody but themselves is the opposite of what a righteous man would do. He would take care of those in need. Raising his eyes, he sees at 1,000 rods, 10,000 furlongs, observes the coming of Kothar, observes the march of Hasis. Oh, hey, Dan. Good to see you. It must be hard to say salsa, to say seltzer and get salsa. Salsa. Which one am I saying? You don't know. Gotcha. So Kothar Wahasis, the craftsman god, the clever craftsman who manufactures all kinds of cool things. He can build a temple, a palace, shoes, a throne, you name it, chalices, all kinds of goodies. Here they bring the bow. Here he conveys many arrows. Now Daniel, man of Rephaim, the hero, man of Harnemite, calls out aloud to his wife, "Attend, Donatia, the lady, prepare a lamb from the flock for the relish of Kothar and Hasis, for the hunger of clever Hayan." Hayan is also a title, or I don't know if you call it title or honorific name that is also used for Baal, and it means like life, vitality, virality. Haya is also in the Bible for life. Eve's name is Hawa, And I believe that the wa and the ya it's the same thing, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't have the knowledge to tell you how to say it. Dine and wine the gods, uphold and honor them, the lords of Memphis, allotted by El. Donatia, the lady, attends. Oh, and I guess I should tell you, if you don't already know. So Daniel, or Danel, means God's judge, or judged by God. And Donatia means also judge righteous, but on the goddess side, if that makes sense. So isn't that kind of neat? Like Danielle and Donatia, cute little couple. She prepares a lamb from the flock for the relish of Kothar Wahasas, for the hunger of clever Hayan. After Kothar and Hassas arrive, they hand Daniel the bow. On his lap they lay the arrows. Now Donatia, the lady, dines and wines the gods, upholds and honors them, the Lord of Memphis, allotted by El. So Kothar Wahasas is from Memphis. At least that's how the Ugaritic texts go. Kothar left for his tent. Hayan left for his dwelling. Now Daniel, man of Rapayu, the hero, man of Harnemite, strings and bends the bow, draws near to Aqhat. Again, could be a little iffy in here with the translation. The best of your bag, my son, the best of your bag. Look, the bag is in her temple. And again, stuff is missing. With appropriate counsel, the bow is bestowed upon Aqhat, a development that apparently comes to the attention of the goddess Anat. So here's where it starts to get fun, everybody, because we love Anat. She's always a good time. With a salted knife, a cutlet of fatling. She drinks wine by the flagons, the vine's blood from goblets of gold. I love how they call it the vine's blood, and they're drinking from goblets of gold. Like, can you get any more regal or any more divine than that? You can't, and I love it. And I'm just so sad that this part is missing. So raising her eyes, she must see that sparkle of this bow from across the ways. She longs for the bow, her eyes like a snake. On the earth, she empties her flagon. So she's drinking, right? She sees this bow and she drops her drink because she is just insatiated with it. Her goblet she pours on the ground. She raises her voice and cries, "Attend now, Aqhat the hero. Ask me for silver. I'll give it to you, for gold, and I'll endow you. Give Anat the girl your bow, the sister of the goddesses." That might be the sister of the goddesses, your arrows. Or the sister-in-law, because I know that she's called the sister-in-law of the peoples. Aqhat the hero answers, "From the Lebanon, the strongest trees." Lebanon, shout out to Lebanon, free Palestine. From the Lebanon, the strongest trees. From the buffalo, the strongest sinews. From the ibex, the strongest horns. From the bull's heels, the strongest tendons. From the great brake, the strongest canes. Give to Kothar and Hassas. Let them make a bow for Aqhat, arrows for sister of the peoples. So he's telling her, look, why don't you get your lazy ass. Hey, Bree, baby. Oh, Ember. Ember, I accidentally played your intro when the show started. It's funny. And yes, this Danielle, or Danel, however you want to say it, is super cool. And as I said before, he would be the Danel of Ezekiel, not the Daniel from the Daniel book of Daniel, which is a different, similar kind of character, but the Ezekiel's Daniel is likely drawing from this Daniel because it was written before. Ezekiel's way older than the Daniel of the Bible. Okay. Where did I leave off? Pickle pie. No. Okay, so he's telling her, go get this stuff, give it to Kothar Wahassis, and he'll make you your own bow. Why do you want what I got? Like, please, like, chill out a little bit. And Anat, the girl, answers, like, she is emphatic. She keeps going. Anat, the girl, answers. And sometimes Anat is called the maiden. And this is another thing with these translations. I have 4 translations, transliterations, whatever, also in front of me. And they will be rendered different sometimes. So just throwing that out there, if you happen to pull up another translation and it's a little bit different, that happens from time to time. I mean, that's what happens with the language that doesn't have the vowels in there. Anyway, Anat, the girl, answers, ask for life, Aqhat the hero. Ask for life and I'll give it to you. Deathlessness, I'll endow you. I'll let you count years with Baal, count months with the offspring of El. As Baal revives, because Baal rises and dies and rises. As Baal revives and invites the revived to drink. And now see, and then I wondered too, what does that mean? Is this a mistranslation? Is this hinting at Baal being able to revive people as well? I have so much to learn. Trills and sings over him with pleasant tune, they respond. So I'll revive Aqhat, the hero. Okay. So she's really laying it on thick. She's like, listen, I will give you life. I will give you deathlessness, honey. I will let you count years with Baal. Okay. Like, can you count to infinity? Because that's what I'm going to give you. Oh, thanks, babe. All right. Trills and sings over him with pleasant tune. They respond. So I'll revive Aqhat, the hero. Then Aqhat, the hero, answers, maid, don't beguile me. To a hero, your guile is slime. Bruh, you shouldn't have done it. You just shouldn't have done it. Okay. Because I just, Kothar Wahasas would have made you another one. If a goddess asks you for something, I think you should just give it to her. Maid, don't beguile me. To a hero, your guile is slime. In the end, a man gets what? A man gets what is his fate. Glaze is poured on the head, lie over the skull. The death of all, I shall die. I too shall die and be dead. And another thing I will say, bows are weapons of warriors. Will womankind now be hunting? That even pissed me off just reading it. I can't even lie to you. That pissed me off just like, did you not see her in front of your face? She is a goddess who is the goddess of the hunt. Like, the bow is her thang. That's why she is so obsessed with getting this bow. So I understand where he says, in the end, a man dies. Like, that's just what happens. And then when they die, your progeny takes care of your body. They pour glaze on your head, lie on the skull. And in Canaan, they would put little like seashells on the eyes. They paint the face. They would also sometimes bury you underneath their home. Like, they would look after their dead. So he's saying that's what's going to happen to me. I can't get out of that fate. And then he insults her. He said, bows are weapons of warriors, or womankind now be hunting. Yeah, because that's what Anat does. She's a huntress. She's also a goddess of like the fertility of the herd. So she also is she has like a close relationship with the creatures, if you get what I'm saying. So Anat laughed out loud, but inwardly she plotted. And I swear, like, that's me. That's my mood. Yes, ancient sexism failed. Exactly, Ember. Seriously. But this is such a mood because, like, I probably would have been like, I'm going to kill you. That totally would have been me. Okay. Inwardly, she plotted. Come back, Aqhat the hero. Come back to me. I will warn you. If I meet you in the paths of rebellion, find you in the paths of pride. Basically, she's saying, if I see you on these streets, it's on. I will fell you under my feet, finest, cleverest of fellows. She takes to her heels, and the earth shakes. She just spun like a dime. She was like, oh, you're going to find out. Then she set her face toward El at the springs of the rivers, among the streams of the deep. And if you noticed here where it says deeps, I'm sorry, I probably should have been pointing out more words to you. But that's this word right here, Tihomatim. And I can't do it. But Tihom is in Genesis 1, where God's spirit is hovering above Tihom, the watery deep. It's basically just a remnant of Tiamat, the salt water dragon chaos that Marduk destroys and creates the earth out of. Okay. So that's where El is. Okay. So that's where El resides, at the springs where the rivers converge. She proceeds to the precinct of El, comes to the camp of the king, the father of years. And again, here is father of years. That might also be familiar to you because that is a title that Yahweh eventually uses. Ab right here. Ab Shanim. Sounds close enough. At the feet of El, she bends and bows. She bows. She prostrates herself and pays him respect. She denounces Aqhat the hero, maligns the child of Danel, the man of Rapu. Then Anat the girl speaks up. She raises her voice and cries, "Ugh, why is it always when she's talking something's missing? I could just punch." Anat's first speech maligning Aqhat and El's first response would have followed in the gap. On the left edge of the tablet is the remains of a colophon. Okay, so it's who the scribe. This is pretty pieced up, so we're just going to do our best here. And Anat the girl replies, in your house, in your temple, do not rejoice. Do not rejoice in your something about your head. Now, what I will tell you is she's definitely threatening him. Okay, so this is not the first and probably not nor the last that Anat, the warrior goddess, will be threatening her father. Okay, hopefully we'll get a chance to read other stories where she also threatens him. I will make your head run with blood, your old gray beard with gore. Then cry to Aqhat to rescue you, to Daniel's son to save you from the hand of Anat, the girl. Then the kind one, El the compassionate, replies, I know you, daughter, as desperate among goddesses, nothing resists you. So what she wants, she gets. Go off. He's like, go off. I love that. Go off, daughter, haughty of heart. Lay hold of what's in your liver. Set up in your breast. Liver. So liver is where, now we say heart, like if something, we want something, that's kind of where we put our, I don't know, we put that idea, but back in the day, it was the liver. To resist you is to be beaten. Yes. To resist her is to be beaten. Anat, the girl, departs. So basically, El is like, look, I'm going to keep hands off here, but I also don't want to fuck around and find out. So you go do your thing. Okay. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Now she sets her face towards Aqhat the hero. At 1,000 rods, 10,000 furlongs. Then Anat the girl laughs loud. She raises her voice and cries, attend, Aqhat the hero. Come, brother. And I believe here she's kind of beckoning him to the hunt to go out with her. Go on a hunt. I will instruct you. The town of Abiluma, Abiluma, town of Prince Yarik, where a tower, unfortunately, it's missing. Oh, and Yarik is the moon god. So whenever we were talking about the Kothrat, that is basically, you could almost say his kids, not necessarily so, but they are his children. And Nikal Wa'ib, his wife is Nikal Wa'ib, which was a marriage between a Canaanite god, the Canaanite god Yarik or Yarihu or Jericho, which means city of the moon, and Nikal Wa'ib, who I believe is a Sumerian goddess, Ningal, possibly. No, but she is from there. So even how back in the day, powerful people would marry other powerful people from other towns and cities and yada yada. Similarly, the same thing happened with the gods, because it would make the people, they marriage the people, they marriage the gods together. All right, and that's preliminary preparations for revenge on Aqhat must have occupied the following gap, which extends over the remaining lines of this column and 2 completely missing columns. Oh, heartbreak, heartbreak, heartbreak. Okay. He breaks. Anat the girl to all. Anat the girl now leaves. Now she sets her face toward Yatapan, the Sutian warrior. So Yatapan is one of her sidekicks. He's mentioned elsewhere in other Ugaritic texts with Anat. I don't know if he is a full-blown deity or just like a lower deity or semi-divine or whatnot. I do not believe, though, that he's human. Actually, he's not human. I should say that. He's not human. Let Yatapan turn, the town of Abiluma, town of Prince Yarik. How will Yarik not be renewed? In blank, his right horn. In the waning, his head. Yatapan the Sutian warrior replies, Attend, Anat the girl. For his bow you strike him down. For his arrows take his life. The fine hero has laid a meal. Again, some missing text. Anat the girl replies, Turn here, Yatapan, and I'll teach you. Put you like a bird in my belt, like a hawk into my sheath. When Aqhat sits down to sup, the son of Danel to dine, the birds will circle above him, the flock of hawks will hover. Among the birds I will circle, over Aqhat I will aim you. Okay, so Anat also has the ability to, she's also called like a bird. I don't know if it's a kite. I forget which bird it is, but she also flies. So she's going to take up Yatapan above Aqhat, and they're going to encircle him. And then she's going to aim him down, and he's going to do the deed for her. So technically, she don't even have to get her hands dirty. Now, let me just say, they just want the bow and arrow. Their intention is only that. They want what she feels is hers because daddy said she could. Among the birds I will circle, over Aqhat I will aim you, to strike him twice on the head, 3 times over the ear, like wop, bop, bop, spilling his blood like a butcher, down to his knees like a killer. Whew. Let his life go off like a breeze, his soul like a sneeze, achoo, from his nose like smoke. Napshu, this, sorry, it's not working right, but it's this word right here, NP, looks like a SH. I believe that's breath. Why are you being so dumb? And that's right here. That was like where they thought your breath came from. So sometimes, even nowadays, when people are practicing Canaanite religion and they do any kind of ritual or a curse or what, they might put their hand over their napshu. I shall take his life. She takes Yatapan, the Sutian warrior, puts him like a bird in her belt, like a hawk into her sheath. When Aqhat sits down to sup, the son of Daniel Dadaim, the birds circle above him, the flock of hawks hovers. Among them, Anat circles. Over Aqhat, she aims him, to strike him twice on the head, 3 times over the ear, spilling his blood like a butcher, down to his knees like a killer. Killer! I want to know which word is killer. I don't know. I'd have to try to figure that out. Anyway, his life went off like a breeze, his soul like a sneeze, a chew, from his nose like smoke. A gnat in the slaying her warrior, Aqhat, and she wept. So it's a little broken, but I guess when he died, she was like, ooh, ooh, I probably should not have done that. Did I do that? That's probably, she probably said, did I do that? And you did, girl. You did. And for your bow, I struck you down. For your arrows, I took your life. So it seems as though she has regret. This was not her intention. They didn't want to kill the boy. I mean, she did say that he was going to regret it. She did say, be careful, because if I see you in the streets, you're going down. I don't think that this is what she intended, but that's what happened. The first line is a colophon. The second line continues the narrative from the end of the column for the second tablet. Belonging to Aqhat, into the waters it falls. Okay, so the bow falls into the waters. The bow is broken. It's broken. Anat, the girl, she probably is crying. Her hand strikes like a bard, like a singer, her fingers, the lyre. So another thing you should know about our beautiful goddess girlfriend here, Anat, is that she also likes to play the lyre and sing and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, we don't have much left of it. For his staff, I struck him down as I struck him for his bow. For his arrows took his life. Now give me his bow. The first fruits of summer are the ear and its husks. Okay, so this is important. I know we're missing some of it, but they're trying to tell you, okay, so take notice of what's happening around us. Take notice of the season, because things are going to change, because Aqhat is now dead. Now Daniel, man of Raphaim, the hero man of the Harnemite, gets up and sits by the gateway among the chiefs on the threshing floor, takes care of the case of the widow, defends the need of an orphan. Raising his eyes, he sees on the threshing floor dries, droops, something is removed. Okay, so I believe that it's time something is being harvested. So the season is now changing. The birds circle over her father's house. The flock of hawk soar. Paget, or I might say pagat or pagagut, and I apologize, but that's just because it's translated a couple different ways. This is the sister. Pagat weeps in her liver, sheds tears in her heart. Torn is the mantle of Daniel, man of Raphaim, the robe of the hero, man of the Harnemite. Now Daniel, man of Raphaim, adjures the clouds in the awful heat. Let the clouds make rain in the summer, the dew lay dew on the grapes. 7 years Baal is absent. 8, the rider of the clouds. No dew, no downpour, no swirling of the deeps, no welcome voice of Baal. Torn indeed is the mantle of Daniel, man of Raphaim, the robe of the hero, man of the Harnemite. Oh, and whenever it says the welcome voice of Baal, I mean, that's basically just like thunder, baby. Listen, Paget, bearer of water, collector of dew from the fleece, who knows the course of the stars. Lead the donkey, rope up the ass, lay on my silver harness, my golden bridle. Paget attends the bearer of water, collector of dew from the fleece, who knows the course of the stars. Weeping, she leads the donkey. Weeping, ropes up the ass. Weeping, she lifts up her father onto the back of the donkey, the shapely back of the ass. Daniel goes around the brush, sees the stalks in the brush. She sees the stalks in the thicket, embraces and kisses the stalks. Let the stalks shoot up in the brush, the wild plants sprout in the thicket. The hand of Aqhat, the hero, collect you, place you inside the storehouse. Daniel goes round his cracked earth, sees the ears in the cracked earth, sees the ears in the dried land, embraces and kisses the ears. Let me console the ears. Let the ears shoot up in the cracked earth, the wild plants sprout in the dried land. The hand of Aqhat, the hero, collect you, place you inside the storehouse. So Aqhat would be the one to go gather all the harvest and do all the things, right? Because he's the son. So I think Daniel, without realizing, what has happened, he's just kind of saying, this is what my son is going to be doing. But maybe even with a little bit of feeling of something isn't right, because you saw that Pagat, without even knowing, being told yet that their brother, her brother, Daniel's son, has died, is already feels weird, like something isn't right. Like they're seeing things around them that are telling them something's off. The words have not left his mouth, nor his speech his lips. When raising her eyes, she sees no peace in the messenger's gate. They move away from each other, one over here, one there, striking twice on the head, 3 times over their ear, their brows. On the brow, sorry, we don't know what's happening here too much. Their tresses and flows, tears like quarter shekels. I will tell you both, Danielle. And it seems that they're telling the story of what happened to Aqhat. She expelled his life like a breath, his soul like a sneeze, from his nose like smoke. Oh, hey, Dr. Kip. Good to see you. Spooky season begins October 13th when we thank the indigenous people for pumpkins and ends with Krampusnacht on that's my kind of holiday. That's what I would celebrate. Okay. They come, raise their voices, and cry, "Attend, Daniel, man of Rephaim. Aqhat the hero is dead. Anat the girl has expelled his life like a breeze, his soul like a sneeze." Now, what I will say is, while the repetition can just get to be a lot, in many cases, it's helped fill the gaps where text has been broken, because they're like, well, we practically know what's happening here because they said it 20 times. They've already said it 20 times. Okay. Below his feet tremble, above his face perspires, around his loins crack, the joints of his loins shake, those of his back give way. He raises his voice and cries. Oh, again, the action's missing. Daniel's initial response to the news of Aqhat's murder would have been included in the several missing lines here. Raising his eyes, he sees, notes the birds in the clouds. Okay, so he sees them birds. Don't listen to them birds. He sees those birds in the sky. This is not Bird Box, so he's looking at the birds. He raises his voice and cries, "Let Baal break their wings, break the birds' pinions, so they fall beneath my feet. I'll split their bellies and look. If there's fat, if there's bone, I'll weep and bury him, place him in the earth god's caves." So he's asking Baal to bring those birds down so he can dig through their bellies to find his son's remains. The words have not left his mouth, nor his speech his lips. When Baal breaks their wings, breaks the birds' pinions, so they fall beneath his feet. He splits their bellies and looks. There's no fat, there's no bone. He raises his voice and cries, "Let Baal mend their wings, mend the birds' pinions. Birds take wing and fly." So we see Baal doing his resurrection or reviving thing where he brings the birds down. The birds are deadzo, and then he brings the birds back, because Daniel he's not just out there trying to do this for funsies. He wants the one who he feels is responsible. So those other birds, skedaddle. Raising his eyes, he sees notes Hargub, father of the birds. He raises his voice and cries, "Let Baal break Hargub's wings. Let Baal break his pinions so he falls beneath my feet. I'll split his belly and look. If there's fat, if there's bone, I'll weep and bury him, place him in the earth god's caves." Um, The words have not left his mouth, nor his speech his lips. When Baal breaks Hargub's wings, Baal breaks his pinions, so he falls beneath his feet. He splits his belly and looks. There's no fat, there's no bone. He raises his voice and cries, "Let Baal mend Hargub's wings, Baal mend his pinions. Hargub, take wing and fly." Raising his eyes, he sees, notes Samal, mother of birds. He raises his voice and cries, "Let Baal break Samal's wings." So, like, they're just going through all these birds. Sheesh. "Let Baal break her pinions so she falls beneath my feet. I'll split her belly and look. If there's fat, if there's bone, I'll weep and bury him, place him in the earth god's caves. The words have not left his mouth, nor the speech his lips. When Baal breaks Samal's wings, Baal breaks her pinions so she falls beneath his feet. So we're getting this immediate action, right? Like the relationship between Baal Hadad and Daniel is, I don't know, it must be pretty friggin' fantastic, because as he's asking it, like before the word, like it's almost as if Baal knows what he wants. He knows what he's after, and he just wants to help dude, because he was, Baal probably feels pretty crappy because he was the one who was asking El to have compassion and like, yo, please help this dude have a child. And now, not long after, he's gone. So, okay. When Baal breaks Samal's wings, Baal breaks her pinions so she falls beneath his feet. He splits her belly and looks. Oh, Samal, you did it. Samal. There is fat. There is bone. From them he takes Aqhat. He does not wake. He wails. He weeps and buries him. Buries him in probably some location. There could be another. I don't think it's that important, but I will look into that to see if my other translations have something there. He raises his voice and cries, "Let Baal break the birds' wings. Let Baal break their pinions. If they fly over the grave to deprive my son of his..." Woof, oof. That just gave me shivers. He's like, these birds aren't even going to fly over my son's grave, because if they do, Baal, you know what to do. He curses, "Woe to you, near which Aqhat was slain." So this is a location. So he's so pissed off that he's even like, he's doing the Bible thing, what they like to do in the Bible. They curse people who they're cursing places and people who aren't even part of this. So he curses this city and like, you shouldn't have been next to him. "Woe to you, near which Aqhat was slain. May El clothe you in leprosy." Fuck me. "May El clothe you in leprosy." He went hardcore. "Now and fleet time forever. Now and all generations." He gestures with fate his staff. He comes to this location. He raises his voice and cries, "Woe to you, because I'm cursing you these places near which Aqhat was slain." So there's like 2-3 places that just got their shit whacked. "May your root not sprout in the earth, your head droop as you're plucked. Now and fleet time forever, now and all generations." He gestures with fate his staff. Okay, so he has a staff, and he's got that magic touch. He comes to the town of Abiluma, town of Prince Yarik. He raises his voice and cries, "Oh, no. You do not, Daniel. How dare you?" He raises his voice and cries, "Woe to you, town of Abiluma, near which Aqhat was slain. May Baal strike you blind, from henceforth and forever, from now and through all generations." He gestures with fate his staff. Daddy was mad. He came to judge. Okay? Danel, he lived up to his namesake. He came to judge, and he just judged. Behold, he brings forth a great beast, an abomination to the desolation of the Philistines, and also unto a tennis ball. Dagon. Dagon is in here too. We love Dagon. Daniel comes to his house. Daniel arrives at his place. The weepers come into his house, the mourners into his palace, those breaking their skin to his court. He weeps for Aqhat, the hero, sheds tears for the child of Danel, man of Rephaim. From days to months, from months to years to 7 years, he weeps for Aqhat, the hero, sheds tears for the child of Daniel, man of Rephaim. Then, in the 7th year, Daniel, man of Rephaim, speaks. The hero comes back, the man of Harnemite. He raises his voice and cries. So, I mean, they're saying for 7 years, he was just like out of service. He was just so sad. And that could just be, emphatic language. And, they like to use sevens a lot. So 7 might just sound good. Go from my house, you weepers, hence from my palace, you mourners, you breaking your skin from my court. He presents a meal for the gods, into the heavens sends incense, to the stars the Harnemites incense. Cymbals, castanets of ivory, then Pagat, bearer of waters, answers. My fathers presented a meal for the gods, into the heavens sent incense, to the stars of Harnemites incense. Bless me, I would go blessed. Empower me, I'd go empowered. I would slay the slayer of my sibling, finish who finished my brother. Oh, because she's not scared. So I've read that some feel that Pugat could almost be like a Anat type, a warrior type. Then Daniel, man of Rephaim, answered, by my life, let Pagat, bearer of water, live, collector of dew from the fleece, who knows the course of the stars, flourish. May she slay the slayer of her sibling, finish who finished her brother. I believe she goes and washes herself up, rouges herself with the shellfish, whose source is far in the sea. They talk a lot about the rouging of yourself with the shellfish, the purple, the royal purple from the Dr. Kit probably knows. Boop, 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 boop. I feel like it starts with a M. But anyway, purple shells. So they use that for makeup, lips, all kinds of things. She puts on a hero's outfit below, places a knife in her belt. In her scabbard places a sword, a woman's outfit on top. As Shapshu, the god's lamp, departs, Pagat approached the encampment. As Shapshu, the god's lamp sets, Pagat arrived at the tents. Word was brought to Yatapan. Okay, so Yatapan is the one, if you remember, who murked, unfortunately, Aqhat. Unintentionally, but that's what he did. The woman we hired is come to your camp, is come to the tents. So basically, Pugat she knows who Yatapan is. She knows who she's going after. She's going to handle business. We'll see. Shut up. Read. Then Yatapan, the Sutean warrior, replies, take and drink the wine. Take the cup from my hand, the goblet from my fingers. Because Pagat is dressed up, Yatapan doesn't know who she is. Sorry. Pagat takes and drinks it, takes the cup from his hand, the goblet from his fingers. Yatapan, the Sutean warrior, replies, by the wine that is drunk, I'll defeat the god who is master of camps. The hand that slew Aqhat, the hero, slay foes by the 1,000. Okay, so he's kind of like bragging right now, and stupidly, possibly, probably, enchanters to the tents. His heart like a ram. His feces, excuse me? His feces like a snake? Murex, Dr. Kip, you know me, you know it. Murex, that's exactly what it is. Murex. Anat is known for using Murex a lot. Okay, so feces like a snake. You know how that be. Twice she gives the mixed wine, gives to him the drink. So she's given him the drink now. She's like, yeah, here you go. Have some more. On the side of the tablet where the plot resumes after the interruption caused by Daniel's rituals following Aqhat's death. And here one returns to the story. So that's it, my friends. That is it. It breaks off. So we don't even know where it ends. Does Pugat slay Yatapan? Does she get revenge for her brother's death? We don't know. We just don't know. Let me read what Dr. Kip said. Oopsie. I don't know why the translator calls him Daniel. Everywhere I have seen it and looking at the transcription here, it should. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Danel is probably. Yes, I agree with you. But unfortunately, my brain won't say it properly. My brain just won't. Okay, so you guys, the point of this was to tell the story of a Rephaim, which in the Bible is spoken of as someone alive, but also dead. In Ugarit, they are also alive. As you can see here, Daniel is a Rephaim or Raphaeu, and but they also have Rephaim clay tablets where they are dead heroes, or as Genesis 6:4 may even call them, men of fame, renowned, men of the name, and they're also sons of God. Through the Bible, there's just like this intentional, I would say intentional confusion and blurring of the lines of what a Nephilim is with a Rephaim, with a Zimzem, Zumim, or whatever they're called. All the different, what you could basically say is the indigenous Canaanite tribes that are the enemy. So, what do you do with the enemy? You write stories that are larger than life. You make your foe gigantic. And therefore, by beating them, you are now more powerful than them. Like, oh my God, they were terrible. Kind of like what we did here. We called the indigenous people of Turtle Island savages. Oh, they're savages. You should see how they just kill people. Excuse me, what did you do? But anyway, but they write these tall tales, tell these, terrible stories. But there's that remnant. There's that remnant in Ezekiel. Maybe I could just open up Ezekiel. Should I just share the scripture? But there's a remnant of the Rephaim in Ezekiel. Sorry, you guys. I gotta figure out. I have so many windows open now. Now I gotta get here. Which scripture is it? I forget even which. It's probably in my notes. I should just look at my notes. Ezekiel 32. Ezekiel 32. So let's look up Ezekiel 32. Oof, that's so bright. Is this the one? Did I pick the right one? Hold on. Why do I feel like I superimposed the numbers? Is it 23? Sorry, folks. Oh, no, it's 32. Okay, I guess I just need to read. I just need to be patient and read through it. And let's get off of and I'll pull this up in a second, you guys. Sorry. NSRVUE. That's the one I use. La, 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 la. Oh, no, actually, I want the verse. I want the actual verse because I want to see it in. I want to see it in Hebrew. Those who go down to the pit. Is that where it's at? Those who go down in the pit. Who needs her? I'm not sure if that's it. Oh, Dandy, you're so sweet. Thank you. Aqhat. 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 Is it Aqhat or Aqhat? Aqhat. Thank you, Dandy. You're so sweet. You don't have to do that. You know that. But I do appreciate you. And I apologize. I'm like not exactly fully prepared. I'm not fully prepared here. Oh, you know what? Actually, I have a whole thing here. Derp. I have a whole keynote. It's probably here on the damn keynote. Oh, okay. Yeah. You ding dong. Did I not put it in here? I don't think I did. Nope. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Oh, duh. Here it is, you stinker. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, it's 20, I believe. 20 or 21. I'm almost there. We're going to start with 20. And we're going to see how that goes. And I'm going to pull that up. Present. Which one is it? Gotta step this one first, you guys. Sorry. Actually, I probably didn't have to do that. Or maybe I did. I don't know. I don't know. There we go. Nope, I don't think that has. I don't think that's the one. Is it 3221? Nope, it's not that one. I probably should just Google. Let me just Google. Yeah, but tell me which one, you ding dong. It says 17 through 32. Well, yeah, I can see that for myself. I'm asking for the exact. Do you have patience? You guys are amazing. Thanks for waiting. Okay, 21 and 27. 21 and 27. All right, I don't like how this works, but that's all we got. There we go. Okay. I thought Rephaim was in here. Oh, here we go. Oh no, is that Nephilim? Well, anyhow, basically, Ezekiel is discussing these mighty heroes, as you can see here. And that is the Rephaim. And they aren't having a good time. They are deceased now. They don't have power. Like, Rephaim probably held some kind of power to it before, like, oh, the Rephaim. And now it's like when you hear about Rephaim, like, oh, those old dead dudes, those old. I was just looking for the exact word RP. Well, that's the transliteration. RPM, Rephaim. But it's of no matter. It's of no matter. The Rephaim, through the Bible, through, their little stories that they're telling, eventually turn from someone who's a hero, someone who is well liked, probably legendary of some sort, eventually becomes like giants who need to be defeated. And then after they're defeated, they're just scum, dead guys with no power, no glory. No one thinks of them in that positive way that they used to. They're now giants. They're defeated. And I'm not sure that I have too much more to add to that. Let me look through my notes. Oh, I guess I could tell you a little bit. There is similar connections to other chthonic entities like the Manes of Rome. They are spirits of deceased family members, particularly those of esteemed ancestors residing in the underworld. And there would be festivals and communions, and like one of the meals is the Marzehu, and the Marzehu is also mentioned in the Bible, but again, because it's attached to the Rephaim and to other gods, the Marzehu is like, the Bible specifically says, you can't do that anymore. You cannot honor your ancestors. The shades of Greece, spirits of the dead, they're heroes who also might venture into the underworld to seek wisdom or prophecies. Offerings of libation could be poured on the grave, or personal items placed on the graves. Also, festivals. Festivals are just a big thing. There's festivals for everything. Titans of Greece, who are the offspring of Uranus and Gaia, warred against Zeus and were afterward imprisoned in Tartarus. I guess there's some interesting translations with the Septuagint. It translated the Valley of the Titans instead of the Valley of the Rephaim, which is interesting. So whenever they were translating the text for the Septuagint, they were believing that these Rephaim were Titans. They're just trying to Hellenize stuff and figure out who's what and what's what. Yeah. I think that's practically it, you guys, when it comes to Danel and the Rephaim. Yeah. I want to continue reading through. I want to read the other text. There's another Rephaim in the text, and his name is Karet or Kurta. Some people pronounce it differently. And there's also, as I said before, the Rephaim. Let me pull this off. I don't need to have that up there anymore. There we go. Maybe I'm just saying that they are spoken of in Ezekiel. Maybe that's what I'm talking about, where he says that they're the heroes are basically pieces of shit, Kip. But yes, you're right. Isaiah does also. Maybe it is Isaiah. Is it Isaiah where they're under the waters and they're like sad sacks? They're sad sacks. No. Demythologize. What else? Well, there's lots of texts. There's lots of Ugaritic texts. So I'm going to try to make this more of a regular thing, and we can learn together, because there might be something that you see that I do not. And I thoroughly enjoy learning this stuff and comparing it to the Bible. I just hope other people enjoy it as much as I do. So I think that's it. I'm going to get off here. We've been here for over an hour. I was hoping to do it under an hour, but that was actually a kind of a short story. The Baal cycle, which I do want to do very soon, is really long. So that probably would have to come in a few parts. I don't know if I could do that for that long. Well, you guys, I appreciate you listening. I'm so glad you came. Dan D, thank you so much for this the support. That was really kind of you. Oh, Bad Science Sunday is tonight. So if you're not subscribed to Maya or Bad Science Sunday, you should do that. Dr. Kip Davis, who's also here in the chat, if you are not following his channel, you should absolutely do that. And Ember and Bree, and who else? Anybody else here? Anybody else here? Anybody else here? Eric, do you make content? I'm not sure. PC, John Hudson, everybody else, so glad to see you. I appreciate you. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, no, I don't want to play outro. Uh-oh, hold on, guys. I got to stop. Don't play outro. Bye.